Hi everyone, good afternoon. So today we are beginning our review session and teaching session with poetry. Now, I know you know most of your devices, but let's just remind ourselves. So I've created this little word here for you, Shiptoma Crispy, to help you remember the literary devices. Anyone can remind me of what a simile is? Anybody? Yes, Xavier? Mm-hmm.
It is a word to to compare a other word.
Right? So a simile is a comparison using as or like. Right? Similes are comparisons that use as or like. She is as tall as a bamboo. Right? What's a hyperbole? Anybody can tell me what a hyperbole is? Zane? Go ahead, Zane.
This is a hyperbole, stretching the truth.
Yes, excellent. Hyperbole is stretching the truth. Right? Right? What is irony? It has something to do with a situation. When a situation, Zane?
Something that you don't expect to happen.
Well, you closed it. When a situation turns out to be what's in, to be the opposite of what we expect, right?
Excuse
The
me.
opposite of, yes. Good evening, Abby.
Excuse me. As I have to go into Sarah's right? Because my one it was out of charge.
Okay, that's okay. So I'm recording, right, Ab? Right.
Okay.
Personification is when we give human qualities to, who can tell me?
I know Miss I can't say that.
Yes, of course.
To non-living things.
Right. Well, it's not just non-living things, the things as well as, or, Abby, see if you can get it.
Animals.
Excellent, right? When we give when human qualities are given to things or animals, right? Tone is writer's the writer's attitude, and we can tell the tone from the words that the writer uses. The title is the heading at the top of the piece. The theme is the main idea of the piece. What is tactile imagery, people? Students, what is tactile imagery? Sorry, what is taste imagery? Taste has to do with what? Taste imagery. Give me an example of taste imagery. That might be easier for you. It all deals with how we process taste. So if I give you a candy, what taste imagery is associated with a candy?
Sweet.
The sweetness.
Right. Right. If I give you some pepper, what taste imagery is associated with pepper?
Spicy.
Spicy, right? What is tactile imagery?
Touch.
So, boiling water, how would it feel? We don't want you to feel it, but how do you think it will feel?
Hot.
Right. Snow.
Scorching.
Snow,
Cold.
right? Scorching is the boiling water. Yes, snow is cold, right? And there are many more. Onomatopoeia. This
But
is
I
an
know.
okay, who is telling me? Chris? Imitation of what? Chris? Is that you? Who said you know?
No, miss.
Okay, Abby? Or a girl said, one of my girls said. Go ahead. Uh-huh.
If it's imagery of
Imitation of.
this I can't speak. I could give you like an example.
Sure.
I'm not sure. It's like Sally says, like, is it like when two words begin with the same letter?
Ah, that one is a different device. But we'll come
Yeah.
to that shortly. imitation of sound in the environment. So, Abby, what sound does a cow make?
Moo.
Right, so the mooing of cows. What sound does a bird make? What sound does a dog make?
Barking.
Right, right. So it's a imitation of sounds, right? Here, oxymoron is pairing of two words. What's unusual about these words?
The opposite meanings.
Excellent. Can you give me an example?
Cruel kindness.
Cruel,
Interior, exterior.
right? Cruel kindness, interior, exterior.
Deafening silence.
Deafening silence. Excellent. What are metaphors? Mikhail, can you tell me what are metaphors?
A metaphor compares two words without using also like.
That's not what I taught you, but you're close. Definitely compares two words. But what is the trick that I told you? Compares two things, but what's the trick that I told you? Using what? Nick?
This
Mm-hmm. Is, are, was, were, has, and have.
yes.
Right? Remember, right? So, in school, you might be learning it as a comparison of two things not using as or like, but with me, you learn it like this, so it'll be easier for you to detect them, right? It compares two things where one thing is another, or was another, or some things are other things, right? What's the mood? You could tell me what the mood is. Xavier?
Like
All right.
how the passage is feelings.
Right, so it's definitely a feeling word. So mood would refer to how I
The character
feel,
feel.
uh,
How the character feel.
right, how I feel when I read the piece, right? Now, Abby, you were giving me an example of one, and this is where it fits in now. So like Sally,
Sells
Sally,
she sells seashells at the seashore.
right, Sally sells seashells at the seashore, right? So here we have repeated first letters. Right? Repeated first letters. And it's always going to emphasize something, right? Allusions are references, like fairy tale allusions, right? Contrast. What are contrasts? Ranveer, what are contrasts?
Contrast is like finding the differences.
Right. Opposites or differences, right? Opposites. So like short, tall, right? What are comparisons or compare? When we compare, we're looking for what?
Similarities.
Excellent. Similarities or what is same between two things, right? Rhyming words are like grain and sprain, right? Irony. We already did irony. Irony is when a situation turns out to be the opposite of what we expect. Sound imagery would be things that we could hear. So music can be loud, right? Something can be, what are the sounds you could hear? You could hear a crashing sound, right? You could hear a banging sound, any kind of sounds. Smell imagery. What kind of smells can you get?
Sweet.
Right? You could get a sweet or a fragrant smell.
Toxic.
Right? You could get a toxic smell. Right?
A sour.
You could get a sour smell.
A
Right?
pungent smell.
Right? A strong smell, a pungent smell. Excellent. Symbolism is when something represents something else. Something represents something else.
Miss, but I thought you told us it symbolizes something.
Well, it represents means symbolizes. In this case, you're correct. When something represents something else. So, Chris, what does a rose represent? A red rose.
Um, Love?
Excellent. A red rose is love. And there are many other things that we could look at. Sarcasm is when you say the opposite of what you mean and what's your intention.
To say something bad.
Yes. Mikhail, what were you going to say? Right, and it's intended to insult someone. Excellent. Visual imagery deals with size. Who could add to that? Xavier?
Tall,
Mm-hmm. It can deal with height, right? Who else can add to that?
width,
Size, right? Right. Ranveer?
shape,
Shape, right? Who else can add to that?
color,
Excellent. Color. I was hoping somebody would say color, right? Size, shape, color, right? So all of these are poetry analysis skills, right? Ship 2 markers V helps you to remember them, right? And we're going to look at a poem now. So the poem is from classical literature, right? And the poem is written by Robert Frost. And the name of the poem is Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. We don't have snow here, but that's okay. We can still analyze the poem. Zane, can you do a first reading of the first few lines for me?
Whose woods? These are, I think, I know. His house is in the village too. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow.
Very good. Crystalline, can you go now? 1 second, Zane, I'll call you in a bit.
From the
Chris?
top.
Yeah.
From the top.
Yeah.
Whose words are these? I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see them. He would not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow.
Good. Abby, can you read this, please?
Whose house these?
Whose
Whose words these are? I think I know. His house is in the village. Thoughts.
though? Mhm.
And continue.
You will.
He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow.
Excellent. Xavier, can you continue?
yes, mate. My little horse must think it query to stop
Hold on.
without
All right. Hold on. My little horse must think it.
query,
Look at it carefully.
queer.
Excellent. My little horse must think it queer.
My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year.
Excellent. Mikhail, can you reread it, please?
My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year.
Right. Ranveer, can you read it back, please? Ranveer, hold on. I want you to read from the top. Whose words
Whose words whose words these are? I think I know. His house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little house must my little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year.
Okay, Messiah. Gives. Messiah. Okay, who wants to volunteer to read?
Let's
Go ahead, Mikhail.
the darkest evening of the year, he gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there's someone mistaken. The only other sounds the sweet.
Right. Okay, Xavier and Ray, read it.
The darkest evening of the year, he gives his harnessed bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sound, the sweep sounds.
The sweep, right? Okay, Zain, can you do the last part?
Of easy wind and downy flake, the woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep.
So now something is going on in this poem, right? So the name of the poem is Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, right? So what's the first thing you begin to picture when you hear the name of the poem?
A snowy wood.
Right, a snow, okay. Zain, what do you picture?
I picture like a bunch of snow covering a bunch of trees in the woods.
Okay, a lot of snow covering the trees in the woods. Mikhail, what are you picturing?
I picture a whole border of a whole set of trees lined up and a border square, a square made with trees filled with snow.
Okay, so what question can I create from this? What question did I just ask you without asking you? Good evening, welcome to class. What question can I ask you? Go ahead, Mikhail.
What is the title of this poem?
Okay, what is the title of this
What is
poem?
going on in this poem?
Okay, the title is so easy. What is the title of the poem? Can somebody give me a more challenging one based on what I just asked you? Mikhail?
What is the tone of the title?
It's too early to tell the tone. Based on what I just asked you. What
Miss?
were you, Chris, go ahead.
What is going on in the snow? What is going on in the first stanza of this poem?
That's a good question, but I'm looking for something else. We'll come back to that. Abby, do you have one you want to share?
What was the promise? Wait, what was the promise that he kept in the last
Okay,
paragraph?
so that's way down the end. When you are beginning to read a poem, what's the first thing I told you you must picture?
They're like in the woods and snow everywhere.
Ranveer, what's the first thing? That's a good suggestion. Let's see if we get the exact word I'm looking for. Ranveer?
I was going to say my question.
Yeah, go ahead. What is your question?
What is happening to the forest?
Okay. How about this one? That's a good question too, right? But whenever you start reading, start to think of the setting of the poem, right? So we can see right away, stopping by the words on a snowy evening. There are two aspects of setting that are given here. What are the two aspects of setting? Three aspects, actually. What place is it?
In the woods,
Woods.
Right.
on a
What time?
snowy
What
evening,
time of day is it?
evening,
Evening.
Right. And what kind of weather is it?
snowy,
So if I had to ask you what the setting is, it will be in the woods on a
snowy
snowy
evening.
evening. And if you left out any of that, you will not get 3 marks. Right? Whose words these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer. Can anybody create a question with this word queer for me?
Say the meaning of
Go ahead, Mikhail.
Say the meaning of the word queer.
Right. Suggest a meaning for the word queer.
Excuse me, can I say the meaning?
Yeah, sure.
The meaning of queer is like odd or strange.
Mm-hmm. Yes, right. Suggest the meaning for the word queer. Right. Chris, I see your hand up. Just a second. My little horse must think it's queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Without a farmhouse near. Chris, tell me what you want to say.
I was going to say that my question is, what given from the poem, use evidence from the poem to identify what the word queer is.
Okay, right. So that's a very good question, and it will tie in with suggest a meaning for the word queer. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Right? So there is evidence here to help you. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year, he gives his harness bells a shake. What do you think harness means? So somebody can create a question on that.
I think that's like a handle that
Okay,
keeps you from falling off something.
okay.
Is strapped. Is strapped.
A strap, good ideas. Anybody else?
Something like is attached to your body.
Right, something that's helping you to hold on, right? What do you think the word harness means, right? So let's see again. He gives his harness bell a shake to ask if there is some mistake. So who is shaking what there?
The horse.
What's the horse shaking,
His harness bells.
right? And why is he shaking his harness bells?
To ask if there's is some mistake.
What do you think is the mistake? Anybody else? Tell me what do you think is the mistake?
They're going the wrong route.
Maybe, right? Because yes, Ranveer, let's hear yours.
Up and where there's no farmhouse.
Ah, so he's stopping where there is no farmhouse, right? To ask if there is some mistake, the only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. So what two sounds are you hearing there? What
Like
sound, what
wind.
one sound are you hearing?
Easy win and a downy flake.
Right, a downy flake may not make a sound. What kind of flake is this?
Snowflake.
Excellent. Sounds the sweep of easy wind. What sound does a wind make?
A rustling sound.
It could be if it's going through leaves, it could be rustling. If there are no leaves, who can make it could be a howling, not calm. Whooshing sound, the whooshing of the winds, right? The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep. So how does the person in the poem feel about being in the woods?
Happy.
The person in the poem feels very happy about being in the woods. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep. And miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Hi, Nathan. Good evening. Why is this? Good evening. Mikhail, why is this repeated? And miles to go before I sleep.
It's repeated to kind of gives you reader idea where he is and
Precisely what you mean by that. I know what you want to say, no, but I want you to be able to express
it's
it a little.
implied. It's implied. Wait, no.
It's what? It's implying what?
It's used repetition to give
Right. It's definitely, it's repeating.
repetition.
Yes. Why do we ever repeat in poetry?
So make
Somebody's,
sure that the reader understands.
Well, that's part of it, but there's a better reason. Somebody just said it. Who said it?
Emphasis.
For emphasis, right? And miles to go before I sleep. So what is this saying, Zain? And miles to go before I sleep.
So, Miss, I think the poet like lost, and and he emphasizing his journey, how long it is to go back.
Do you think he's lost though? Or do you think he knows where he's going and he knows he has far to go? Which one do you think? Do you get the feeling he's lost? Huh?
No.
No, I think he knows he has far to go, right? So let's look at it again. Stopping.
Excuse miss.
Yes,
I have a good question.
yes, let me hear.
Who is the poet of this passage?
Oh, that's too easy. But what's the answer to it?
Robert Frost.
Excellent. Right, Nathan, because you just came in, I want you to read, please. Stopping by woods on a snowy evening. Go ahead, Nathan.
Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. Whose words these are, I think I know. His house,
Whose?
woods, these are, I think I know. His house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, and but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep.
Excellent. Now, what do you all notice about the end words in each of these sentences?
They're rhyming.
Right, so no and though and snow are rhyming, right? Here and where and near are rhyming, as well as here, right? While I'm doing this, think of why I would ask you about this. Lake. Why would I look at rhyming words? Lake, shake, mistake, and flake. Mikhail, why would I ask about rhyming words?
You would ask about rhyming words to distinguish whether it's a happy poem or a sad poem.
Oh my goodness, I'm so proud of you. Very proud of you. Right, so what do you think? Based on these, what do you think?
I think
How
it's a happy poem.
it's a what?
A happy poem.
How do you all feel? Do you all think he's happy in the poem?
Yes.
Okay, give me evidence to support what you're saying.
Listen, it was wrong a little bit.
Sure.
This he said lovely, dark, and deep.
Right. The
Meaning
words,
he likes it.
excellent. The words are lovely. This is a lot of evidence to indicate that he likes the woods. He loves the forest, right? Any other question that you could create from this? Okay, so we have just 1 minute, so let's come off and